You have been very involved in the whole independence struggle, in shaping where Namibia has come to today. You are on Saturday marking 25 years of independence. You are going to now take up a very prominent position in shaping the future of Namibia in the government. And I'd like to ask you, how do you see the future in Namibia? What are the most pressing challenges that you will address? How do you see Namibia now moving in the next 25 years?
Yes. I believe that the president-elect, Dr. Hake Gottfried Kainko, is very much determined to address certain issues. And the one pressing issue is the question of poverty and the gap between rich and poor in this country. 20 years ago, more than 20 years ago, it was a question of black and white and colonialism and apartheid and all these things. But today it's moving into the direction of classes, that you have very rich black and white people, you have very poor, predominantly black people, in a population of 2.2 million. We are going around telling people that this is a rich country, especially when it comes to minerals, but the citizens of the country are not experiencing that, wealth. That's the one big issue. Of course, we have still the question of HIV and AIDS. People are dying. Many people are infected and affected. And I think that when it comes to counseling and testing, these things are, well, in the first years we had the international community doing a lot of things, but many of the organizations, especially from outside, has withdrawn. There are other issues now they are concentrating on, but the question of HIV and AIDS is still a serious issue. And we need to address it. We need to sensitize the young people about the dangers, not only of HIV and AIDS, but of the different sexual diseases. We have, within the context of poverty also, we have in certain places high levels of malnutrition of young children, and it affects also their schooling and the future of Namibia, which we want to be bright and good and so forth. So that's a serious issue which need to be addressed. People are getting hungry, people are going to bed without eating sufficient food, and if they have food, it's sometimes not, or many times not nutritious at all. That's a very serious issue. And then we have the question of violence, especially against women and children. Women being just stabbed to death or shot by the so-called boyfriends or ex-boyfriends. That's a very serious issue. The president of the country went so far calling a prayer day where people gathered and prayed that these things come to an end and people change their hearts and love each other and kill each other. But on that first day, there was a woman also killed brutally. So we have a lot of challenges. But I think we have opportunities to change all this, especially with the new government. We hope that these issues will be addressed meaningfully, not only with words but also with actions that would lead to change.
And in that context, what do you see as the role of the church also and of people of faith here in Namibia?
The role of the church is to be prophetic and to highlight these issues. And that's why I'm so happy with the theme of the assembly, liberated by the grace of God, and that salvation is not for sale, human beings is not for sale, and the third, creation is not for sale. I think they are very much relevant to Namibia. So the role of the church is to amplify that and to concretize this. What do we mean that when we say human beings are not for sale and that creation is not for sale? In this country where it seems that everything has to be sold and people have to make money, young people are not have not a prospect of one day owning an own house because it's very expensive. So I think the role of the church, well, we have discovered that the role of the church has not come to an end with the lowering of the South African flag, because we who took over further to lead this country were not thrown from heaven, or we are not angels at all. So I believe that the church has got a lot to do, and to speak out without fear, and to praise where something good is happening, but also to admonish where things are going wrong.
Thank you very much.